right. We are back in action, and Carlitos Alcaraz is also back in action in Rotterdam with a nose strip. Big news, breaking news. We've got great ATP 500s in Rotterdam and Dallas. We're going to break down both of those draws. We're also going to break down Felix Auger-Aliassime's win in Montpellier, and we're going to break down the ridiculous situation in the Davis Cup where Christian Garin refused to continue playing after getting shouldered in the face by Zizou Bergs. We're going to break it down because that's what we do. This is the slice presented by Betway. Let's get into it. It's going to be good. All right, guys, welcome back to the Slice. Thanks for being here. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to break down the things I already talked about. But if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, thank you for doing so. It helps us out and it supports us as we are on our route to 25,000 subscribers this year. Yeah, we've got some great indoor tournaments going on in February here. As I mentioned, the Slice is presented by February, or it's presented by February. It's still after Australian Open, and I still haven't recovered sleep-wise, so any incorrect statements I make are due to that. But the Slice is presented by Betway. If you're going to get in on the action in Rotterdam or in Dallas, you need to use the Betway app. It's great breakdowns on the app. If you're looking at a match, it'll show a lot of background to the tournaments, the different players in it. It's a really good interface to use. So check that out and check out our posts on the Betway feed. The Slice is also presented by Tennis TV. Yeah, the Tennis TV. They're calling it Frantic February. They have 350 plus matches live and on demand on Tennis TV. And I've said this before, if you're a true tennis fan and you don't have Tennis TV, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you're watching tennis because it's the only way I do it. It's amazing. You can scrub through matches that you're watching on replay and you can watch them live in amazing high definition. So use the link below to check it out and sign up if you haven't. That supports the Slice and it supports you becoming a better tennis fan, which we all want to be. So being a fan of tennis, sometimes things happen that just make you chuckle and it allows you to just throw out your opinions on what happened because it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It obviously matters to these two countries, but I'm talking about what happened today. I believe today with between Christian Garin and Zizou Bergs. So we'll actually watch it here because I'll just pull up Twitter from Tennis Channel. Shout out to them. And this is what happens. Zizou Berg runs through, kind of tries to jump in front of Christian Garin, jump by him. I believe this is after a break. You can see him jump here, actually get him pretty good in the eye with his shoulder. But to me, and I show it again here, he gets the break, he jumps, celebrates, and then he's just running through and he kind of just tries to zip through. Oh, bonk. And now Christian Garin, I will say South American. I've watched a lot of international football. A lot of these countries, South America, Europe, love to dive. And here's my opinion on it. Zizou Bergs, did he do anything wrong? Not really, I don't think. He celebrated and he was kind of you see players run to their bench all the time. And it was clearly just an accident. Like he was going and he kind of tried to jump and get through there because he kind of saw that maybe at the last minute that Christian Garin wasn't stopping for whatever reason. But then I'm also thinking, is Christian Garin doing the thing where you kind of intentionally let a guy hit you to fall down, like in soccer? I don't know, but he got him pretty good in the eye and he had a swollen eye. But the crazy part is Christian Garin refused to come back and play after they wouldn't default Zizou Bergs. So there was time violation, and then they got a game violation. They got a game removed, and that won the match for Belgium over Chile. So just an insane scenario in the Davis Cup. And that's my opinion on it. You got to play. If you get hit in the eye, you just got to get back out in there and play. Don't be soft is what I would say. So yeah, that's my opinion on that and other news. So yeah, that's Davis Cup. Is your country winning, losing? I don't know. Let me know down below. Davis Cup qualifiers. Canada unfortunately lost to Hungary. So Canada's back out of the top world group, which is depressing after we won it in 2022. But Felix and Dennis both weren't able to play. Felix was in Montpellier trying to get some match wins, keep the good times rolling for him, and he ended up winning the tournament. He had a greasy last match against Kovacevic in the final, which was actually a great match. Kovacevic was playing great tennis, but Felix maybe wasn't his most clutch, but figured it out by the third set tiebreaker and won it. So he's won 2 titles this year. He's won the most titles on the ATP Tour so far. And for our guy, he's still building back his confidence after his injury woes. So I think the more matches you can play, the more wins you can get, is the better. And these 250s, people are like, oh, they're just 250s. Yeah, they matter. They matter for your confidence. And yeah, I believe that was his 16th major tournament final, and I think it's his 8th win now. So yeah, great for our guy. Congrats to our guy Felix Auger-Aliassime. But we're looking forward to Rotterdam. It's an amazing indoor tournament. I'm hoping to be at one day, and they've got a stacked draw. We've got Alcaraz back in action. We've got Medvedev there. We've got Tsitsipas. We've got a lot of the top players in the world there in Rotterdam. So let's take a look at the draw. Okay, here it is. And if you're starting off for me, you're looking at the top with Carlos Alcaraz. He's playing Botic van de Zandschulp. So it's actually crazy that this is a draw for Carlos Alcaraz. That's the number 1 seed. It's a little bit of a nightmare draw in Rotterdam. And if you remember, indoor fast hard courts is Alcaraz's probably worst surface. So maybe he's playing this to try and get better on it. Didn't win the Australian Open. He probably feels like he wants to improve his quick hard court game, and he gets this draw. So he's playing Botic van de Zandschulp in the first round. Should be fine, but he lost to him last year at the U.S. Open. And then in the second round, if things were to go as they should, Felix Auger-Aliassime, who just won a title, feeling pretty confident, he would play Alcaraz. And Felix currently has a 2-0 head-to-head record on indoor hard court. So I'll just leave that there. Felix is feeling good. He's got the serve. It's a 3-set match. That's going to be a big moment for Felix, and maybe we'll do a live stream during it. That would be great. Holger Rune is in the top quarter with Alcaraz, so he could play him in the quarterfinals. Bautista Agut's in there, Sonego, Martinez. I love these small draws. In the second quarter, we've got Andrei Rublev, the 4th seed. He'll play Zhizhen Zhang. We've got Kaboli and Hurkacz, the 8th seed there in Rublev's quarter. And then we've got Alex de Minaur, the 3rd seed. He has Arthur Fils as a 7th seed there, and you've got Kovacevic, who just I think got like probably a special entry from making the final of Montpellier. Great run for him. He'll play Pesci Pericard, which is scary. Golfans there, Menchik, Bublik, very dense draw. Daniil Medvedev, 2nd seed in the bottom quarter. He has Stan Wawrinka in his first match. So, sorry, I wasn't showing that. So that is a pretty insane first round matchup there. That both major winners, first round matchup at the ATP 500 in Rotterdam. And then you got Matteo Berrettini, unranked, playing Griekspoor in the first round. Stefanos Tsitsipas gets a wild card to get in there. He's in the Medvedev quarter, so they could play in the quarterfinals. So the quarterfinals could be Medvedev versus Tsitsipas, de Minaur versus Fils, Humbert versus Hurkacz versus Rublev, and Rune versus Alcaraz. So yeah, I would say pretty interesting draw in Rotterdam, and it's going to be interesting to see how well Alcaraz can play on the quick indoor hard courts. I think like with his obviously insane tennis ability in general, if he can keep the ball in front of him and play locked in, like he can beat anyone in the world on any surface. I really think that. But he struggled with his consistency on this surface. So we'll see how he does against a pretty thick draw, if you ask me. Let's go over to Dallas. That's right, America, who I am currently not a fan of right now as a Canadian. We've got Denis Shapovalov there. They should be paying a 25% tariff on having Denis Shapovalov there. That's neither here nor there. This is another 32 player draw. We've got Taylor Fritz as the number 1 seed. He's playing Arthur Rinderknecht in the first round, which, if you remember, Fritz said to him, enjoy your flight back home, or something like that, after beating him, I believe, at the French Open, which I don't know if that makes sense, because he was already in France and he's from there, but maybe it was at the US Open. I forget. Remind me in the comment section below. Anyways, that's a drama-filled, amazing first-round match. Fritz versus Rinderknech, and then Shapovalov. Denis Shapovalov will play Miomir Kecmanovic to play Fritz probably or Rinderknech, the winner. But Shapovalov, tough draw there. I'd say he should beat Kecmanovic. He beat him last year in Serbia at the Belgrade ATP 250 en route to winning it. So if he can get through Miomir, he'll have a good test of his form against probably Taylor Fritz, which would be good to see. Tomas Machak is also in that quarter. He will play Kei Nishikori in the first round. Tommy Paul is the 3 seed. He's playing wildcard Jensen Brooksby. So that'll be interesting to see where Jensen's level is at versus a very good top 10 now, Tommy Paul. Ethan Quinn, qualifier, love to see it, versus Trevor Svida, getting the wild card. So that's the younger brother, I believe, of Zach Svida. Another wild card is Riley Opelka. He'll play Alexander Shevchenko. Cam Norrie's also in the Tommy Paul quarter, playing Alex Mickelson, who's the 7th seed in that quarter as well. In Ben Shelton's quarter, which is the 3rd one, he's the 4th seed. Matteo Arnaldi, the 8th seed, is there. We've got Chris Eubanks qualifying, Brandon Holt qualifying, who will play Davidovich Fokina. And then we've got on the bottom, Casper Ruud is the number 2 seed, plays Marcus Giron in the first round. And Francis TFO is the 5th seed, also in that quarter. So Dallas is looking good. I love that it's an ATP 500 now. Dallas is one of the premier cities in the U.S. and a lot of these American players are like, heck yeah, I'll take another week in the U.S. after Australia before. I guess they're probably, you get a lot of time in the U.S. there. You can play Dallas, you can play Delray Beach, you can go play in Mexico. Maybe they'll have tariffs there, I don't know, maybe they won't be allowed to play. And then you got Indian Wells, Miami, so you got a good 2 months essentially of being in the US before you go to Europe for like 5 months. So yeah, anyways, I'm excited for these tournaments. If you're going to bet on the action, use Betway. If you're going to watch the action, use Tennis TV and click the link below. Let me know what you think about the Davis Cup kerfuffle with Christian Garin and Zizou Bergs. That was absolutely nuts. Let me know what you think about the draws in Rotterdam and Dallas, and let me know what you think about Felix Auger-Aliassime taking out some more hardware. Is he going to find his form, playing all these matches and winning all these tournaments? It's possible. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's the slice. Thanks for being here. We will see you next time on the channel.